Welcome back, Super Friends. Today we are going to model decimal by decimal multiplication using a base 10 grid. What you'll need is your math notebook, a pencil to write with, and don't forget that super brain of yours. Stay tuned for the video. All right, Super Friends, today's lesson, we are going to model decimal by decimal multiplication. So what that means is that we're going to take a grid of a base 10 block and use it to multiply two decimal numbers together. Of course, we know the trick of where we remove the decimal points out of the way and then put it back in our answer, which I will show you that as well, but you are going to have a couple of picture problems in your test, and I want you to at least understand what it is saying to you when you see it. So let's get started with this first problem. It says 0.2 times 0.3, which means 2/10 times 3/10. What we do with the picture is we just color in what we see. So right now, if it wants 2/10, that means 2 sticks, right? 2 sticks. So I'm going to color in 2 sticks, and I can go down. It's 1 stick, 2 sticks. All right, so I got my 2 sticks colored in, and then over here it says 3 sticks. And I'm changing up the colors because instead of going down, I'm going to go across. Whichever way that you started, you want to go the opposite way to overlap. We're trying to see overlapping. So with this case, then I would start over here. So then I would go 1 stick, 2 sticks, 3 sticks. So now that I colored it in, I have my 0.3 over here, and I have my 0.2 down here, and I multiplied them. It looks like an area model, but in a picture form. Now my answer part, guys, is this part right here. How many littles did we color in over here? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6 littles. Now, with that being the case, that means if we have 6 littles, that means our answer would equal 0.06 because the 6 littles means hundredths. Right? All right, Ms. Joyce, I don't really get it. Can you show us the way that you taught us before? Sure. If we wrote this over here with our area model but took away the decimals, so it would be 0.2 times 0.3, underline how many places are under the decimal, then take it out. So now we have 2 times 6, right? So that 2 times 6 tells us that, 2 times 3. That 2 times 3 tells us that we're getting a 6. So this is going to equal 6. But that 6 needs to be 2 places after the decimal point. So if we're starting the decimal point here and we need 2 places after the decimal point, then it would go 1, 2, right there. And what will we put in here? A 0. So then that would look like 0.06, which is what we have over there. Another way, if it makes it easier in your brain, you can just add the placeholders here. So just make this 20 and 30. Okay, so after placing those placeholders to make it look like 0.20 and 0.30, now we have to move our decimal point 4 places over. We need 4 numbers after the decimal. So if we just multiply this, 6 times 2, or 2 times 3 is 6. Bring down our 2 zeros. Now, if I'm starting my decimal point here, I need to have 4 numbers after it because our 1, 2, 3, 4 numbers after the decimal. So 1, 2, 3, 4 numbers after the decimal, and that's a placeholder. Or if you didn't like that, there's just so many ways that you could do it. We would need to put the place 4 places. What would that be? A 0 placeholder. The easiest way, I think, is moving the decimal backwards. I think the picture is super simple too because the picture just shows us, okay, the littles are hundredths place, so that means that I would just put my answer there. Let's do another example. All right, our next example says 0.5 times 0.8. Again, with our coloring, I'm going to color in my 0.5. This time I'm going to do dashes. So 0.5 going to be on this side. There's 1/10, meaning 1 stick, 2 sticks, oopsie, 3 sticks, 4 sticks. Finally gotten smart about it. 5 sticks. So now my number is 0.5 right here. Remember, these are 5 sticks. Okay, now over here I have 8 sticks. This is going to take a while. So 8 sticks. Remember, I go overlapping 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I have 8 sticks colored in. My 0.8. All right, so now I need to see what part is my answer. My answer is the part that has the 2 colors in it. So it's all of this. Now looking at it, I see I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 8 times 5 equals what? 40 little guys. All right, so since it's 40 little guys, I need to put that in my answer now. So 40 little guys looks like what? 40 little guys. That looks like 2 numbers after the decimal. So I would just put my decimal here and I have my 2 numbers after it. So that's what it would look like. Or you can say 0.4. Both of those are the same. Because 40 little guys is saying I have 4/10, which is the same thing. So it'd be 4/10 or sticks. All right, let me show you the way without using the picture if we were just to multiply. So if I brought this over here, again, we underline how many numbers after the answer. Okay, we get our answer, which is, then we take it away. So 8 times 5 equals what? 40. And now I put my decimal point so that I have 2 places after the decimal. That's how we do it. Ms. Joyce, why didn't you do area model? Only because it was basic facts here. It was just 8 times 5. We knew how to do that. All right, let's do our next example. All right, super friends. This last problem, because we have a number in the ones place in that 2.7, I'm not going to do the picture because the picture will require me to put 2 base 10 grids, and then it'll get a little confusing, and I just don't like drawing this as a picture. So we're just going to use our method of area model where we just underline how many numbers we have after the decimal, then bring down our numbers without the decimal. Excuse me. And then we're going to go ahead and do our area model. So I have my 20 plus 7 times 5. And then I am going to start multiplying it through. I have 2 times 5, that's 10. Bring down 1 0. Then I have 5 times 7, that's 35. If I add those together, 100 plus 35, it is going to be 5, 3, 1. That's going to be my number. Now, remember those 2 decimal points that we took away? So we need it to be 2 places after the decimal in our answer. So that's what we would do.